Hey everybody, I'm here at the NHI today to accession some of our recent collections for the herbarium here. Our doors are still closed to the public, but we have some equipment here that I need to use to do this. So you all got a glimpse of the field collection process and the mounting process in the St. John's Wort video, and I thought I'd give you a little walkthrough of the final nitty gritty piece before we actually add a specimen or an herbaria to the herbarium. And the first step is taking a picture of each specimen. So let's go check that out. All right, so here's the scene. We got a camera stand over here. I'll go over that in a minute. We have our pile of 60 or so recent collections. These collections were collected primarily in the Prescott Basin here around town, in the Bradshaws and the Sierra Prieta. And we have a few also collected out on Burrow Creek. When COVID-19 kind of took over a lot of our realities and the Institute had to close its doors to the public, that afforded me a lot of time to get out and collect and continue to grow our herbarium here. So right here on top and over here on the platform, you might recognize them. These are a few of our St. John's Wort collections. Last time you saw these, which was in the video a few weeks or a couple of weeks ago, it was just a plant on paper. But now we have these three pieces, and what that's about is, obviously it's just Natural History Institute's stamp right here. Down here we got a barcode with a number, and this is essentially just a specific ID for this specific specimen, a specific record. Then we have these labels on each sheet, and I talked about these briefly last time. What we got is the family, we got the genus, species, this is our Latin name, authorship, we have the common name, we have the general locality, specific, latitude, longitude, elevation, how common it is in the landscape, habitat type, associated species, occurrence remarks, and the collector, the identifier, and the date it was collected. So each of these sheets in this pile are set up in this way and ready to go and get their photos taken. So here's a quick view at how the photos turned out. They're all looking good. All right, so I finished taking the photos of all the specimens, and the photos turned out great. So we're done with that step. And now seems like a good time to kind of point out that there's this split in the accession process here at NHI. So what the photos will be used for is the photos are going to go onto Signet, which I'll talk a little bit about later. The photos are going to go up there with a georeference and all of that metadata on that label. Then it becomes, an electronic data set. So that's one split in the accession. And the other split is actually putting the physical specimens, these vouchers, these herbaria, into the NHI's herbarium. So before we do that, though, we have integrated pest management protocol here, and we need to make sure that we're not putting pests in the herbarium. So to do that, we put the specimens in the freezer for a certain amount of time. So I'll show you that real quick. We're up here in the NHI's lab. This is the lab room. The actual collections are in that room. So here's our stack of specimens, and here's the freezer. And yeah, essentially we just put them in here for 5 days to make sure that any pests that are in there are killed off. All right, so it's been a couple days now. The specimens have been in the freezer long enough, and now they're safe to take out and put into the herbarium. All right, welcome to the NHI's collection room. These 6 tall green cabinets and this one black one on the right make up our herbarium. Our herbarium is relatively small juxtaposed to other herbariums. However, we focus primarily on Mogollon Highlands flora. We have approximately 9,000 specimens in these cabinets, representing 166 plant families and 938 genera. These are organized taxonomically by plant families, going A to Z. So each cabinet has certain families, which can be seen on these lists on each door. So that's how you navigate. That's how you find what you're looking for. So here are our specimens. They just came out of the freezer. They're still cold. And I'm gonna begin putting them in the cabinets. And I thought I'd just show you all what that's about. So here's our Hypericum. Okay, so I know that the family of Hypericum scalari is Hypericaceae. So I would look for Hypericaceae in these cabinets. I think it's in here. Yep, Hypericaceae. So when you look inside here, you're just gonna see a bunch of folders. And again, this is organized alphabetically by family. So let's see. Hypericaceae, K, F, G, J, okay, Hydrangeaceae. Oh. So once a specimen is finally accessioned and added to the herbarium, this is where it lives from here on out to tell the story of where the species grew historically. The NHI's herbarium is used by students, by researchers, by botanical artists. If the general public comes by, plant enthusiasts just want to come up here and look around. And then additionally, all of these specimens serve as vouchers, physical vouchers for the data that we have uploaded on SciNet, which is actually data that can be used for scientific research. So that's all for now about the NHI's herbarium. I hope you all enjoyed watching the process of actually collecting a specimen in the field and pressing it, and later mounting it, taking its photo, and finally adding it to the collection and kind of learning about why we do this and what it means.